This is what I wake up to every morning. No cars, no trains, no planes, no traffic, no horns. Just birds greeting the day, singing their chorus, their song, their little hearts out, honestly, every single morning. As we've moved further into spring, adding to that melody are frogs. There's something really, really peaceful about starting each day like this. And I feel blessed every morning to meet the sun. All right, friends, welcome back to another episode, another day. And today's goal is to make it to the beach, a beach that is kind of far away, but it's supposedly got a lot of seaweed. So we've hired a trailer, and the goal, if we're lucky, is to be able to fill this thing up with seaweed so that we can add it to our garden and make a nice organic garden. So let's go. Okay, well, we've made it to the beach, and it is just a fantastically beautiful day. I can't tell you how good it feels after a long winter to be here just with a nice, cool ocean breeze and the sunshine, birds chirping, the sound of the waves crashing. Fantastic. This coastline is actually one of the most remote coastlines in the whole North Island, and I'll be honest, just hopping out of the car, I'm getting a South Island feel, which is great. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna be in luck. I can already see seaweed on the beach, so I'm gonna grab the wheelbarrow and get down there and start collecting. Okay, well, we've made it to the beach, and it's a beautiful day, and we have seaweed, friends. We found the weed that grows in the sea. Got more. Huh? Got more to do. Plenty more. Well, we've found a pretty good little area full of seaweed, and this is turning out to be a lot easier than we thought it was going to be. I thought we'd be pushing this wheelbarrow down the beach, picking up clumps here and there, but we found an area where the tide has pushed over from the beach, and it's pushed in all of this seaweed. So we're finding some good stuff. This is great for the garden. It's a nice little day out, right, Carrie?
It's beautiful. Smell of the ocean, smell of the seaweed. It's honestly so nice, and it's a calm day. Not very much wind. And just spending the day out here nice and slow. There's no service out here, and no wind and sunshine. Good day. Are we moving locations?
Yeah.
Like in the car?
Yeah. Honey, what are you thinking?
I love this beach. And I'm excited to come back and camp here in the caravan and bring Lanka. The landscape is unreal. You've got sheep grazing and just really cool tropical trees mixed with the ocean. I don't know, it's a really unique beach. I really like it.
Okay, well, we've found the jackpot for the seaweed, the real one. Tons of it here. And we're just gonna start filling it up and going for it. I am kind of kicking myself for not bringing my surfboard, but I already knew this dilemma would happen. And I decided to be a responsible husband because I had a feeling I'd come here, the waves would be fun, and I'd want to go paddle out. And the waves are fun, and I want to go paddle out. But we came here to collect seaweed, so that's what we'll do. Well, we're all loaded up. Should be enough for the garden and maybe even a little bit more for some of the trees in the orchard. But I'm sad to go. I really don't want to leave. It's so nice. What a beautiful spot. Cannot wait to come back here, camp out, bring the caravan and just post up for a couple of days and surf and fish and just hang out at the beach. Beautiful, beautiful spot. We will be back. We're back. We're back at the homestead, and we have successfully harvested a trailer full of seaweed. These trailers are handy. I think we need to buy one. We need one. Hi, bud. Hi, boy. Next time you're coming to the beach with us.
there a lot more seaweed?
There's a fair bit more, but I have the whole orchard.
You did well, Julie.
I did. It's like, you're gonna do it, you might as well. You know?
Look around.
Go food. Okay friends, stage 2 is complete. We have successfully covered every garden bed with seaweed and had a lot left over, so we actually added that to the base of some of the fruit trees in the orchard, which I'm sure they'll be happy about. And now it's time to dig into this giant bag of coffee grinds and layer that on there too. Sometimes I wonder if Lanka actually thinks that he is a sheep, because he often just approaches the rams and then just stares at them through the fence. He's getting closer, you can see he's trying to approach on the other side. See that? He's trying to get in there. And then putting out in it with the coffee grinds. There's gotta be a lot of, it's a lot of coffee. Come on, little animals. Come. Oh. Ah. What a day. What a day. Days like today make you grateful to be alive. Full days. Days where you're exhausted at the end of it, but oh so happy. Feel content, like you've spent your time well, the way it should be spent. And I guess maybe that's what it is. It's just spending time in the outdoors, in nature, and feeling the wind in our hair and in our face, and smelling the salt of the ocean, and then smelling that rich, moist scent of fertile earth. Simple things like that make me happy. I guess I'm finding that out on this journey of life. Life used to be really fast-paced and everything was go, go, go. There was a period for a few years in my life where I was in a new country every few weeks, bouncing between time zones and red-eye flights. And while it was fun and it was an amazing period in my life, I wouldn't change it. But I think that this chapter is almost like a counterbalance to that. It's a regrounding. Speaking of planes, it's the first one I've heard in a long time. Only been on one plane in almost the last 2 years, and that was for the flight here to New Zealand, which is still pretty insane for me to wrap my head around. Seeing as how in a previous iteration I was a full-time travel vlogger. And I still love to travel. I think that travel is an amazing way to really get to know yourself, but at the same time have a deeper understanding of others in the world and the diversity of our planet and the culture sphere that is our shared humanity. It's really important to get out there and to experience it. But I think at the same time, it's important to find a place to connect with, a place to put down your own roots, like this tree behind me, because we have to be grounded before we can truly reach for the stars. And I think that it's all too easy in this day and age to forget that. Life, I'm finding now that life is kind of an ever-changing collection of moments. And moments can go by quickly or they can go by slowly. It's all just depending on how we perceive them. A shift in perception, a paradigm shift in perception can really allow you to realize and savor the beauty of the moment. And I'll say the one thing that's really stood out to me so far in the month that I've lived here is just the pure, utter bliss of silence. We very rarely get cars through here. That was the first airplane I've heard in weeks. And all I can hear are bird sounds and running water and the wind in the trees. And I think I remember reading a few years ago that there was a study that was released from a leading, psychology university, a department from a leading university. And it said that the 3 things that human beings need are the sound of water, the sound of birdsong, and the sound of the wind in the trees. And living in these mega metropolises that so many of us out there do, we may be rich in other things, but we are very poor in those 3 human necessities. The sound of flowing water, the sound of the wind in the trees, and the sound of birds singing. And I guess I'm just truly beginning to understand and cherish that I have that now. And it was something that was missing from my life before. And many of the things that are missing from my life now, from my previous life, are things that I don't miss. So, I don't know, I was feeling a little philosophical out here in the orchard. I guess it's probably because just over there, off camera, is where I buried Wilson's brother on the second night in this place. We were given twin orphan lambs, and unfortunately one of them passed away within a few hours of coming here. And I buried him in the orchard underneath a peach tree. And that moment for me was one in which I had a very visceral understanding of the impermanence of life and the importance of savoring each moment. And it sounds strange to say this, but in a way I'm grateful for that learning experience, because even though it was sad that that lamb passed away, it was a really strong lesson right when we moved here that I should savor and cherish every moment in this place. So, I don't know, everything in life is a learning opportunity if you look at it in a certain way. It's been a beautiful day. And I'm happy to have brought you along. So thank you for coming. Come on. You too, Lanka. Let's go. Okay, well, it's a few days later and the process continues. We have the poop, the seaweed, the compost, the coffee, and now it's the final layer, which is the mulch. So we got a trailer full of that, which might be more than we actually need for the garden itself, but it's good to have because this could go, you know, at the base of the fruit trees in the orchard, or could line the little beds that go around the house. So it's time to start unloading this, getting it onto the garden bed. Well, it's been a couple of days since I last vlogged. They've been very busy days, and I probably should have picked the camera up, but I was just too busy. We've made a lot of progress with the garden. We have essentially done all the steps, so everything's ready except for the last and final step, which is planting. So we got a giant pile of mulch, and we mulched all of the garden beds, and those are all just waiting to be planted. We've mulched this area. Carrie has been on seedling duty, so we're getting a fair bit of seeds started there, which is great. And then I took matters in my own hands today, and I hired a line trimmer, or a weed whacker as we call it in the States, and all of this underneath these berry trees. So these are gooseberries. That's rosemary, but these are gooseberries. This was all totally overgrown, so I got in there with a weed whacker and cleared that all out. And now these are in a much better place. That's an old wool bag that I found in the garage, and that's full of the weeds that were in here. I'm gonna go see if there's any leftover dag from the neighbor. If there is, I might dag this, or I could just be quite lazy with it all and just throw some mulch on top, cross my fingers and hope for the best. If I had a coin, I would flip it. feels really good to have the first garden bed planted, especially because this whole process has taken, to be honest, a few weeks because we've been doing it in stages. But it's cool. We have this bed, which we've dubbed the Italian bed, and that's because we have tomatoes, we have basil, and we have parsley. And the reason we've planted all these plants together is because they're what are called companion plants. It means that they enjoy being together, companions. And it's funny, when you start to grow food, you start to understand cuisine a little more. All of these plants are essential ingredients in Italian cuisine. Tomatoes, basil, parsley, they all come together in Italian food, and that's probably because they all grow together in Italian gardens. So, it feels really good to have our first one done. Now we only have 5 more to complete, but it's great. It's like every spring when you get your plants in the ground, there's one less thing to worry about, and there's also so much to look forward to. In the summertime, these are going to be feeding us, and I can't wait to start cooking up delicious dishes straight out of the garden. What was that?
This is so fun. It's like a sand pit.
All right, amigos, lo hemos hecho. We have done it, friends. It's, I'm not gonna lie, I'm zonked. I'm so tired. It's been like, I wanna say, working on the garden now for about a week nonstop, between trips to the beach for seaweed, trips back and forth to the composting place for compost. I think it was all up. It was 2 trailers full of compost, 2 trailers full of mulch, and 3 trailers of ground limestone for the path. But we've done it. Here it is. Take a look. Boom. So that is the garden. This is pathway limestone. So this is all gonna, it's gonna compact, nice and compact and clean. And then underneath the limestone, we laid down a weed mat. So hopefully there'll be no weeds popping up through this. We will have a nice clean walkway, weed-free garden beds, and ripe berries all along the edge. And we got it all done. It's like mid-spring, kind of getting into late spring now. So getting the garden, getting the plants in there, in the ground, growing is just a great feeling. And then also that little corner of the sleep out, it wasn't painted. So last night took advantage of the last little bit of light and got in there and painted that. So that's nice. Although there are still a couple of spots that need to be painted, like that spot right there, which I did not see last night. But the sleep out's a whole different story. It's a whole different ball game. It's way down the line on the list of repairs that we're doing around the house. But now that this is done, I can switch back inside and get started on bedroom number 3 with wall prepping and painting. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. It's been a fun one, a lot going on, big learning curves, a lot of hard work, but it's paying off. This place feels transformed already, and it's just getting started. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications enabled so you don't miss out on any videos in this journey. And leave a comment down there in the comment section. I'm loving hearing from all of you and creating a conversation down there between myself and all of you out there. And if you really enjoyed this video and you want to show a little extra support, you can always hit that super thanks button. Those donations go directly to me and to more content. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.